The latest local and worldwide news.
And the best music.
This is WRS.
Lake Geneva's voice.
Thank you for joining me this afternoon, 21 minutes after 4. If you've just tuned in, we've been speaking this afternoon about When You Were Younger. A new production in English starts tonight at the Saint-Gervais Theatre in Geneva. It is called Western Dramedies, and it will be on until the 18th of October. The producer of the show, Michaël Monney, joins me. Hello, Michael. Good afternoon.
Hi, Tony. Hi.
Tell us all about Western Dramedies. This related to a road trip in a car across America that I understand you were involved in. Is that correct?
Yes, exactly. Well, the show is mostly GREMAUD, GURTNER and BOVAY, François Grandcourt, Michel Gurtner and Tiffany Beauvais-Clamette. And they have worked a lot on improvisation in the past. So they start from scratch, literally, and like creation is like an adventure. So they decided this time to take an adventure by themselves. So we drove up, well, actually I drove them up Route 66 from LA up to Oklahoma. Oklahoma, I never pronounce it right. And they collected a lot of impressions, figures, characters, images, and they made a performance out of that.
Okay, and that production is starting tonight at the Saint-Gervais Theatre in Geneva. It is in English. It's on until the 18th of October. We've got a double pass to give away to our listeners on Drive Time this afternoon, which we'll get to in just a moment. But Michael, I want to hear more about the trip. I know there's an old saying. I used to work with a television documentary crew for 5 years, and there was an old saying that what happens on the road stays on the road. Is that the case with this particular trip along Route 66, Michael?
Actually, it doesn't stay on the road. We put everything on stage, so nothing will be hidden. It will be quite fun to see. It's not, there's some kind of theater that is more documentary theater. Nothing you will see tonight and the nights after that will be truly what happened on the road. But it's really an impressions that we got. It's like a play about kind of our relationships with the United States, since we have a kind of complicated relationship with the States here in Europe. Sometimes we love it, sometimes we hate it, but we are always into it because we have it in movies, arts, politics, innovation, blah blah blah. And so we wanted to deal with that.
Michael, you were driving this car. First thing I would like to find out is what sort of car it was.
It was a huge car.
Because often that's the case, isn't it? It's some big car that you pick up somewhere that's second-hand and it's cheap and whatever. And when you're a bunch of young guys... so what sort of huge car was it?
We were on radio. It was a kind of huge 4x4 SUV, as they say there. And it was more like a living room on wheels, and
a good thing to be travelling a long distance in. Sounds like it was rather comfortable. How long did it take you to do that trip from LA to Oklahoma?
It was a bit more than 2 weeks. It was a bit more than we expected because we were hit by a tornado storm, so we had to stay there in Oklahoma City for a few days longer than we thought. But it was kind of, I think, 2 weeks. And
does that tornado feature in your production, Western Dramedies, starting tonight at the Saint-Gervais Theatre?
It's not directly featured in the play. However, it's on the last day with that sense of nature is so big in the States and in North America, and actually maybe everywhere else than in Europe. And there is something in the show. I don't want to tell about it. You have to come out by yourself. You
just have to go along.
There's something about it.
You just have to win that
something bigger than life.
Double pass we're about to give away. Final question this afternoon for you, Michael. You're the producer of this particular show. What out of that 2-week trip and the hundreds of miles that you did in your lounge room on wheels, what was the most outstanding impression as a Swiss driving the Route 66? What is the most outstanding impression or memory that you have from that road trip?
I would say it's a combination of two things. That big nature that I just talked about. That sometimes you see the sky at 360 degrees because it's so flat and it's like you're at sea and you only see sand. And like in Arizona, there's nothing. And you see the sky; it's all blue. There's no clouds, and you feel so little and so free at the same time. And then you meet someone, and just meeting someone is just so unbelievable to see someone else here, and you begin to understand the whole American culture, I guess, in that,
Yes.
and you feel like saying hi and how are you, and you
Where are
don't
you
know these people.
from?
We never do that in Sweden. Exactly, we never do that around here. And
Tell
it's
me,
a shame,
tell
but
me
I understand
this.
why we do.
When you said you were from Switzerland,
Yeah.
did people know where it was?
Sometimes, sometimes they did, sometimes they didn't. In the center of the United States, we had like kind of political remarks saying, "Oh, that's where people have to have guns at the home, you know, because in the military and stuff."
Yeah.
And so that was something big for them, and
Yes.
a bit scary for us.
Yeah.
We're not accustomed to that.
Yeah.
But I guess the feeling, and we have some cliches about the States, and there's some cliches about us too. And
What are
that
some
was
of the other
quite fun.
cliches about Switzerland, apart from guns under the bed? What are some of the other cliches?
The banks and the money, and mostly the banks. I think it's something big up there.
Yeah, it's been a big story the past few years, hasn't
Yeah,
it?
okay.
Michael,
Yeah.
thank you. It's been most interesting. Let us know when you're going to go on your next road trip, and we might organise for WRS or one of us to come along. I'm sure Mark Butcher would love to,
Okay,
to
okay,
join
you will come with us.
And all the best with the production starting tonight until the 18th of October. We have a double pass to give away on Drive Time right now. If you'd like to attend, it's a new production in English starting tonight at the Saint-Gervais Theatre in Geneva. Simply text or email or call. Text 939, start the message with WRS. You can email studio@worldradio.ch or give us a ring, 022 782 7263. A question for you this afternoon. Because your road trip was on Route 66, who had the famous song entitled Route 66? Michael, thank you. All the best with the production.
Thank you very much, Tony.
Take
Thank
care.
you.
Bye. Bye.
Bye-bye. Take care.
Michaël Monney, who's the producer of that particular show, Western Dramedies. It sounds interesting, doesn't it? Based on their road trip along Route 66. Question for you: who had the famous song Route 66? Text your answers through if you'd like to head along to that one. I've got a double pass to give away on the program right now.